What's going on, everybody? I'm Can't Kill Dill, lover of all things morbid, macabre, and horrific. If you are a like-minded individual, maybe consider slitting the like button's eyelids in half so it won't blink when you stab it in the face. Because today, we're talking about Scream 6. Or is it Scream exclamation mark exclamation mark?
I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
Like scary movies.
Uh-huh.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I didn't mean to call you Meatloaf, Jack.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Here's Johnny.
Victims. Aren't we all?
So we got what appears to be the official title of Scream 6. I say official because it's on the film's official clapperboard. Scream 2 or just Scream a little louder because it's 2 exclamation marks. I actually don't think this is true. I don't think that this is the official title. I think this is a placeholder. If it was the official title, that would just be stupid. It's bad. It's not good. But it's nothing to worry about, in my opinion. There's no way this could be the official title, right? I mean, technically you would have, no matter which way you look at it, it'd be just insane. You have either 2 Scream 2s or 3 Screams at this point, because what are you gonna do? You have Scream 96, you have Scream 22, and then Scream with 2 exclamation marks would just be Scream with emphasis. So I don't think this is official. But we did get, a reported new cast member, Thomas Kudrot. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but he's the one that posted this on his Instagram. I went and looked. I did not find it. I think the post has been removed, but regardless, it's pretty interesting. We've got a clear look at the logo, but I don't buy it as the official title. I would think it would be maybe not a huge mistake, but just a mistake. It's not creative. It's not clever. It's bad. It's not a good title. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. I mean, you could call it anything else. Call it, Scream 6 is my choice. Call it Scream 6 because that's what it is. Or you could even do a subtitle. I'm not a huge fan of the subtitles because most people come up with things like Resurrection, which was used and was bad, or things like Kills or Ends. And, I actually wasn't a huge fan of those for Halloween originally when they were announced, but they kind of grew on me. So maybe, certain subtitles could totally be used. I am personally against things like Scream Again or Scream Louder. One title I actually really dislike isn't a subtitle, just Screams. I don't like that. I think it's bad. But regardless, I do believe that Scream with 2 exclamation marks is a placeholder because, I mean, what are you going to call Scream 7? You're not going to use 3 exclamation marks. At least I don't think so. I would hope not. But moving on to more important things, we have our first set photo of Hayden Panettiere as Kirby Reed. And, maybe I shouldn't be as excited as I am about this, but I am because Kirby is awesome, man. She was one of my favorite characters from Scream 4. Super bummed that Scream 4 kind of flopped. I would have loved to have seen a continuation of that story, a continuation of her character, and I really thought that was never going to happen. Psyched that it is happening. That's super cool. That's awesome. It's cool to see that she has the, kind of rocking like the Kirby haircut from Scream 4. I didn't think that was going to happen because if you remember in the Easter egg in Scream 5, the Kirby Easter egg, it showed a thumbnail of her on YouTube and she had like long hair. So it looks like they're going back to the Kirby haircut unless she's going to be wearing a wig. I don't know, but probably the Kirby haircut is just cool to see. And it's funny because, in this photo, in the set photo, she's reading this book and there was all these wild theories that maybe the book's some hint. It's not. I looked into it. It's like something about fairies or something. It's not interesting at all, and it probably holds no weight when it comes to details on Scream 6. I would think. Another thing that kind of interests me about this photo that was shared is that, you know, Jasmine Savoy Brown, who played Mindy Meeks Martin, Randy's niece in Scream 5, who's reprising her role in Scream 6, she is also in the photo. And it makes me wonder, is this some sort of a hint that these characters are going to commingle in the movie? That would be really interesting, seeing as they're both kind of the spirit of Randy carried on. They're both kind of that archetype. And it would be interesting just to get going back and forth. I know fans have been theorizing this for a while, but how cool would it really be? And this could be a hint towards that, or it could just be them advertising this Be Real app or whatever. I don't know. But if there is, scenes shared between the two, I can only imagine they'll be just awesome. But it makes me wonder what Kirby's role in the film really is. What is her fate gonna be? Is she gonna be the opening kill? I don't think so. I don't think you're gonna bring back Kirby just to die. I don't think they would bring back another Scream 4 character just to die. That would be kind of a bummer, man. At least for me, being in the Kirby camp, I feel like that would be a bummer. Maybe some people would be fine with it. If they did it really well. I mean really, really well. And it was just, on par with like 1996's opening. If they could even come close to that, then maybe I would be cool with Kirby being the opening kill. But who's to say they're even going to do an opening kill? They faked us out last time. Who knows what they're going to do this time? It's kind of really up in the air. And I also wonder what her character's even doing in New York City. Okay, say she's not the opening kill, then what's her role in this story? Why is she in New York City? Are they going to have her be this like film professor at the college? I feel like that's a little too cliche. I wouldn't be a big fan of that personally. I think it's a little too on the nose or just forced. I would prefer something like maybe Gail is doing something for her show, because we know that her morning show is based in New York. Maybe she's doing this special where she's getting all these Ghostface survivors together. Maybe Sydney declined, and maybe that's why, that's the excuse they'll use for why Nev's not in the movie or whatever, because Sydney declined, and maybe that was how she was going to get involved in the first place. But that could lead to other cool cameos. We could see, Joel, for instance, or anybody else that survived. That could be a really interesting way to do that. That could be a cool setup. Who knows really what they're going to do? I don't know why she's in New York City. It's a big city. Who knows? Maybe she lives there already. I don't know. Just could be coincidental. But that could be a fun way that they could do that. And maybe even Sam and Tara are hesitant at first because, there's those set photos of kind of Gail kind of pursuing them and them getting in a cab and driving away or whatever. Perhaps she's trying to get them to agree to this morning show thing. They're already in New York because Tara's going to college there, university. And, Kirby Reed agreed, so she's there and that's how they meet. Just a couple ideas. And then there's these supposed set photos of what seems to be built sets of Kirby's house from Scream 4 or just Kirby's house back in Woodsboro. And I don't know what the point of that would be. Unless this story is going to connect back to something from Scream 4, but I can't think of what, unless it has something to do with Jill. And I know I'm going to get shit on for this opinion, but I like Jill a lot. Jill is insane. And I think that there's potential for that character still. Wes Craven had her shot in the chest instead of the head. Like, he changed that in post. She was originally supposed to I think she was going to get shot in the head, and he changed it to the chest just in case, because there was originally a whole trilogy planned that was going to carry out the Jill story and Kirby. And so you could have it connect back to Jill. Maybe Jill could be doing what they originally intended for Stu to do in Scream 3. Perhaps she could be this Hannibal Lecter type figure. And I'm not saying put her under the rope. I'm not saying she would be under the rope. I'm saying she would be in prison or whatever. It could be done if they did it right. I'm a Jill fan. I'm a huge Jill fan. So, I'm already for that. I know other people aren't into it. A lot of people are really against the idea of like a petite woman killing a grown-ass man. I don't see the problem there. We'll have to agree to disagree. Doesn't matter. It's fine. But it could be done. It could be done right, I think. Come on. Charlie wouldn't have done any of the things he did if not for Jill. I don't think. She manipulated the hell out of that guy. And she could manipulate. She's not bad to look at. She's a psychopath. So she's got that all going for her. I think that could be something that they could actually do well. And I'm not saying make her be, you know, the mastermind of it all. Don't make her be the mastermind of it all. You know, let her have her hands kind of in it throughout Scream 6, but kind of, you know, you can lead it into Scream 7 and you reveal the true big bad, the real mastermind, whether this figure had their hands in it from Scream 5 or before, or, you know, they're just finishing what was started this time around, or whatever they're gonna do, no clue. Maybe there is no big mastermind. I mean, they're gonna do something climactic and awesome, I'm sure. But I'm not saying make Jill be that person, but maybe kind of like in the middle somewhere. I know a lot of people would hate that. I would be psyched. I would probably be more psyched for Stu. I'm one of those people, but you know, you gotta hope for what you want. It's fine, but I don't think we'll be disappointed. I don't think I will be disappointed, regardless. But I have to admit, I would be thrilled to get more Jill, because I mean, just thinking back to the third act of Scream 4, you know, specifically the scene where she is beating the shit out of herself in the house, you know, setting up the whole frame job and everything. She's fucking batshit crazy. I want more of that. Amber was cool. I liked Amber. But dude, you just can't really recapture the Jill thing. And I'm not saying you need that. You don't need that. You do not need to bring back any of the past killers. I'm not one of those that thinks the movie will only be good if you bring back a past killer. I don't think that. But I'm saying if there were flashbacks to Scream 4, which is out of the realm for Scream anyways, you know, it's strange for them to do something like a flashback. But if they were to do that and it were to lead to something like this, Jill would be an awesome way to go, in my opinion. And I could deal with more of her craziness on film. I think that would be awesome, personally. And, you know, I feel like Radio Silence kind of has the freedom to do something weird like that because, you know, they feel they've honored Wes Craven well with, you know, Scream 5. And I agree with that. I think they did too. And so they believe they have more freedom with this next film to kind of be off the wall, do their own thing, be kind of crazy. They can do shit like flashbacks and, you know, bring something back around and do something new with it. They could do that. They could do something completely different. I have no idea, but it's exciting to think about, like, all the possibilities. So, you know, that's about it. What are your overall thoughts? How do you feel about the title of Scream, ! Do you think it should just be Scream 6, or do you think it should be Scream, again? Or what kind of subtitle would you want? And then, you know, how do you feel about, you know, Kirby being back? How do you feel about her role? What do you think she's going to do? What do you think it's going to be? Do you want her to be the opening kill? Do you want her to die in Scream 6? Do you want her to live and carry on to Scream 7? Or maybe even if she doesn't die in Scream 6, maybe her story comes full circle in Scream 6, and maybe she lives in Scream 6 but doesn't need to go on to 7 because her story comes full circle. What do you want to see? And how would you feel? How would you feel about the possibility of Jill returning? I know I would be psyched, but how would you feel? Go ahead and comment down below and let me know.